Tangela too, and our host Fitz and Endo, and he brings it to you. Creature features, and all creatures, and all creatures. And the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. 'Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Don't get you tonight.
Many of you might already well know that my two favourite actors in the world are Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson. And you might also know that my favourite horror host would be my predecessor, Mr. John Stanley. Well, tonight we have a special surprise for you. Welcome to Creature Features.
Our guest will be John Stanley, and the movie will be The Terror from 1963 with the aforementioned actors. There. Information conveyed, introduction complete. May I return to my book now?
No, you certainly may not, you self-righteous spoiler. This bloke gets every night of the week off except for one. And now he won't even do that so he can read his bloody romance novel.
The Count of Monte Cristo is hardly a romance novel.
I beg to differ, old bean. The word love appears in that scribe at least 173 times. Oh, and Tangela says your last read was Wuthering Heights, you sentimental old fool.
And off he goes.
Go enjoy your book, Livingston. And do so with the satisfaction that you've not only disappointed your generous benefactor, you've also made sad all of our lovely friends at home. Oh, and just so you know, Dante stumps Mercedes at the end of the book. It's so difficult to find good help these days. In any case, don't go away, because it's going to be another night of Boris Karloff Stanley Fright right here on Creature Features. Stay tuned.
Portions of this program are sponsored by DoorTech, distributor of quality commercial doors nationwide.
What time of the week is it? It is your favorite time of the week. Actually, no, it's John Stanley's favorite time of the week. Because you're the king of Creature Features. You should be sitting in this chair and I should be sitting in that one. You should be interviewing me, right?
Yes, that's possible. I'd be happy to do that.
And you have. No, but
And expose,
he fills in for me.
And expose you.
The only way I get a vacation is if this man sits in this chair. So.
Oh, that's right.
And I need another vacation soon.
And when are you leaving town? Quick.
I don't know. I just want to get out of California.
The sooner the better, right?
Oh, it's if it's not on fire, it's shaking. I just need a small break from it. It's too much. I think I'm going to go to New England.
New England.
New England.
Where in New England?
I don't care, but as long as it's not the old England.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that place.
I say, old chap,
Right.
You're right.
Right. So we're with John Stanley, former host of this very program, and he's going to join us tonight to watch The Terror. I guess we're going to have a terrible night, right?
Oh, The Terror. Did you know that film was produced and directed by Roger Corman?
That is a fact that I did know.
And did you know this? Roger Corman is responsible for 490 motion pictures.
I did not know that.
He's 94 years old and he hasn't stopped yet.
And he's still around.
Still alive.
Wow. Roger Corman. We should try to get him on the show.
You should.
Do you have his phone number? Can we ring him?
No.
Livingston, bring the phone, please.
But I have a bat that could fly down to L.A.
For a moment, I thought you meant like a baseball bat.
No, this would be a.
That would be either one would be elder abuse. So we'll try to coax him with like wine and cheese instead.
That might work. Yes.
Better. All right, we're going to talk to John. We're going to watch this film, and we're going to have fun. So should we start the movie?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Off we go to the Terra. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
to Colvin. I was separated from my regiment at Arstadt. Do you have any drinking water? I'm very thirsty.
Clear water from the mountain.
Thank you. Hello. I'd like a word with you. You never said goodbye to me. In fact, you never even said hello. It isn't an act of treason to talk to me. I'm a weary, disillusioned soldier, and you're the only pleasant sight that I've seen in 7 months. Go ahead, it's permitted for you to laugh. Wait, you haven't told me your name.
My name's Elaine. Come on, I want to show you something.
What's wrong?
Portions of this program are brought to you by Micromat, making products that keep your Macintosh running at its best.
welcome back to the show. We are still watching The Terror with Mr. John Stanley, former host of this very program. What's his head? That's the youngest I've ever seen him.
Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson. I never believed that man was that young.
Well, his first film was Little House of Horrors, or Little Shop of Horrors, I should say.
Oh, I remember that one.
And that was made 2 years before this. So his
Another
career,
Roger Corman, right?
His career is just getting started. Yes.
Roger
yes.
Corman launched his career.
Absolutely. Jack Nicholson even directed some of the scenes in the film we're seeing tonight.
Oh, really?
He worked only one day, but he filmed several.
I was just kidding.
What's this about the phone? What?
No, he thinks we're going to call.
Could I call
Roger
my
Corman.
lawyer? Do you mind?
Oh, you don't need to call your lawyer until Tangela comes out. That's when you need legal advice
All right.
and counsel.
What about my bookie? I'd like to place a couple of bets.
Speaking of bookie, we got to talk about your book. You're working on one right now, right?
Oh, yes. My first autobiography, I Was a Horror Host, has sold out. It sold out last year.
How does this occur?
So
you
I
print
want
more.
Well, I decided I had so many stories untold, and the main reason that I want a new book is I want to thank all of those who were involved in the activities that Bob Wilkins and I were engaged in from the year 1999 until his death in 2009.
10 years.
So many people came to see us when we appeared in person and were directly involved in helping create these shows, produce these shows, or invite us to them, design them for us. It was an amazing 10-year period where Bob and I were totally remembered by our audience.
And appreciated.
Appreciated, and they came to see us time and time again. Right. So I want to tell that story in my introduction to the...
So what's the title of the new book to be?
The Career That Dripped with Horror.
The Career Which Dripped with Horror. I like it. And this is a play on the title of your last one, which was?
I was a TV horror host. The Career That Dripped with Gore was a working title.
Right.
And I decided that's a little too much, perhaps. So I substituted the word horror.
Oh, I like that. No.
Yes.
No.
And I want to describe all those things that Tom Wersch was responsible for. He's the one...
That's our director.
He is your director. He's the one who brought us back together and got the whole idea going.
Right. He organizes things. He brings
Absolutely. He's
two
now
disparate elements together and makes them a whole.
He's now a documentary filmaker.
Oh, he's been doing that for quite some time.
Yes. Starting.
He's over on the side blushing right now as we talk about
He's
him.
hearing everything I say. I better be careful what I say.
I know what you say behind his back, so we're going to be good in front of his back. All right, what do you say we get back to The Terror, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about what you're doing these days, right?
Very good.
Excellent.
All right,
off we go. Back to The Terror. You guys do not go away. Tangela will get mad.
Rest yourself, young man. You're safe here. Here, take this for your strength. God knows help is a very rare thing in this forest. Take it whenever it's offered to you.
That bird, he attacked me.
I'm afraid you're wrong. She's quite harmless. Here. Hold out your arm. She only seems dangerous. Actually, she's very affectionate, which is very unusual for a bird.
Take it back.
Oh, that is too bad. Little girl like him, didn't you? This is Gustav. He brought you here. Gustav fed your horse.
Where's Helene?
This is Helene.
No, not the bird. The girl. Where is the girl?
There is no girl.
Of course there's a girl. I saw her. She spoke to me.
Perhaps you were tired from your long journey and had a pleasant illusion. Gustav, have you ever seen a girl here? Gustav sometimes imagines things. If he could speak, I think we would find that his mind is warped. Such is the will of God, to endow and deprive. The only thing of beauty you'll find in this forest is Helene.
Hello. I was afraid you'd drown. So you are real. I started to think. Who are you? Quicksand. The girl was trying to kill me.
She knows not what she does. Her will is not her own.
You mean she's insane?
Possessed. She needs your help.
Help? How can I help her?
castle of the Baron von Lepp. You will find her there. I can say no more. There's great danger. Find Eric. Eric knows.
The ride to Colbert is long and far safer by day. If you leave now, you can rejoin your regiment by dusk.
Where is Gustav?
What do you want him for?
I want him to show me where the castle of the Baron von Lepp is.
No one's lived in the castle for years. And besides, Gustav has gone away for a few days.
Perhaps you'd show me the way to the castle.
Why are you so interested in the Baron?
I never said that I was, but the girl that I followed last night and spoke to, I believe that she lives there.
Told you. There is no girl.
That is nonsense. You recognize her, don't you?
No.
I'll find the castle myself.
No, wait! Don't go to the castle. I have told you the truth. There is no girl. Mark me, you are getting yourself into things beyond your understanding. Leave now, while you can.
I intend to find her.
Please don't tell the Baron that I am here.
Portions of Creature Features are brought to you by the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Explore the mystery at winchestermysteryhouse.com.
Welcome back. We're going to get back to the Terror in a moment, but first we're going to do some mail, right?
As usual.
Well, no, we have to do the mail because she made John leave. You know, the guest would like sit and do mail with you if you did not kick them out.
She frightens them away.
No, she does more than she threatens them. She told John she was going to give him a trim. Exactly. All right, so we're going to do some mail, right? Give me some mail, Mr. Livingston.
Here we are.
One note from Dave.
Dave.
You know, when you write to us, you have to like say who you are completely and where you're from. Because, you know, Dave, this could be like one of 10 billion people. You know, there's 10 billion people in the world named Dave. I know this is a fact. I Googled it.
There are only 7 billion people on the planet.
Then 10 billion of them are Dave. All right. To the distinguished Livingston, the adorable Tangella, and the talented and clever Vincent. Well, now I feel bad for insulting you, Dave. Thank you for Creature Features. I discovered your series on YouTube while looking for footage for my childhood series, Creature Double Feature, on WLVI 56 in Boston. Your series is fantastic with great production values and interesting guests and rare films that I've never seen before. Bravo to you and your talented crew, and thanks for producing such quality programming. Well, what a nice note. You know, I bet everyone from Boston is as nice as Dave. Not nicer, but almost as nice as Dave, right? Thanks for writing, Dave.
He did call us a crew.
A crew, that's all right. We're like a motley crew. This is nice. Vincent, Mr. Livingston, and Tangella. Oh, it's a handwritten one. If I stumble, forgive me. All right, now this is quite readable. All right, so this is from Beth McCarthy in Santa Rosa, California, one of our neighbors, a city close by. Their zip code is like just one digit off from ours, right?
I'm not sure.
Maybe two.
They have a few.
All right, dearest Vincent, Mr. Livingston, and Tangella, thank you so much for the July 18th airing of the creature features, The Gorilla. It was exciting to try to figure out who the gorilla was. I was way off. Even more interesting was your guest, Alison Claw, Animal Wrangler. Wasn't she fun? You know, she's like one of Tangella's favorite guests because she brings like wildlife and creatures. It makes the show Creature Features more apropos. Her menagerie of animals included a cockatoo, a chameleon, a chameleon, a ferret, and several other creatures. I thoroughly enjoyed the time with Alison and her animals, and I would like to see an encore performance. Well, you know, actually that was the second time she was on, so what do you call the third? Like a...
Encore.
You can't have two encores. The third one's called something else. A tricore, I think. I could be wrong. You all keep up the creature features. I have been watching since Bob Wilkins' days, and I am thrilled to have found you recently on Coffee TV 20. Take care always, Beth McCarthy. Well, thank you for the kind note, Beth, and I hope the weather's nice in Santa Rosa. You know, it's always like 10 degrees warmer there than it is here. You know why, don't you?
Why?
Because we have an ocean breeze.
Microclimates.
Microclimate? No, there's nothing micro about it. That wind out there is howling. All right, this one is from Walter Lanky. Is that how you pronounce that?
I would assume so.
Lanky in Westlake Village, California. You know, I used to visit that place when we lived in L.A.
Why?
Because it's west and it had a lake.
Huh.
And I like villages because we have those in the UK. All right, dear Vince, I noticed on your 1996 album, Bucket Full of Tuna, I told you I don't want to do music correspondence. I don't do music anymore.
Thankfully.
Well, I've started, so I might as well finish. All right, dear Vince, I noticed on your 1996 album, Bucket Full of Tuna, on the song Grimburger, that while the song is mostly in the key of A, during the lead guitar part, the entire band slides up to the key of B, and during the last bridge shift up to B sharp. Are you attempting to mimic George Philip Telemann's Partita in B-flat major with this key change, or was this simply an accidental discovery by you and your less than talented bandmates? Would appreciate some insight. No, that song was actually inspired by Antonio Salieri's Larghetto, and there is no such thing as a B sharp, sir. That would be a C, right?
Generally.
B sharp. Try to trick me. Won't work. Is that it for letters?
That's it for letters.
That is it for letters. If you'd like to send us a letter by email, send it to this address down here. If you'd like to send it in the post, we only got one post one today, didn't we?
Yes.
Yep. Send it to this address here. We'll be right back with John Stanley shortly, but let's get back to the Terror.
anyone here? Hello, it's me, Andre. In the name of the government of France, I order you to open this door.
Your pardon, young sir. I was at my devotions. I did not hear you.
I'm sorry, sir, but surely I made enough noise to awaken the dead.
The government of France. I've seen the uniforms of many governments in my time. What would a soldier of France be wanting here?
Shelter, for one thing. Permit me to introduce myself, Lieutenant Andre Duvalier, 5th Chasseur.
Baron Victor Frederick von Lepp. I suggest you will find better shelter at the village inn.
Thank you, Baron, but I've had my fill of village inns. Surely you wouldn't want to inconvenience a French officer.
Come in. What you see, Lieutenant, are the remains of a noble house. Relics, ghosts of past glories.
A noble heritage is something to be proud of, Baron. I'm afraid we've forgotten that in France.
Ah, yes. Your name, Duvalier, your family.
My father was the Comte de Valier. Was until they spilled his head into a basket one morning in the Place de la Concorde.
Forgive me for reviving painful memories. You must be cold and tired, Lieutenant. Some cognac?
I'd like that, Baron. Thank you.
Sit down. Stefan?
Yes, Baron.
Cognac for our guest.
Yes, Baron.
Baron, I wonder if I might ask, who was the young woman I saw in the window before you came to the door?
Young woman? Oh, I'm afraid you're mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken. I saw her. Dark hair and eyes, about 20.
Well, I'm quite sure you think you saw someone, but...
Baron, I am in full possession of my faculties.
Please, allow me to show you something. You should never believe everything your eyes tell you, young man. Is that the girl you think you saw?
Yes, of course.
Before you say anything else, examine the portrait closely, the signature, and above all, the date.
$1786? But that's 20 years ago. It's incredible. It's the same girl and she hasn't changed a bit.
She has been dead for 20 years.
With all respect, Baron, for a ghost, she's a very active young woman.
You're speaking of the Baroness von Lepp, my wife.
I beg your pardon, Baron. I meant no offense. Perhaps the resemblance was not quite as much as I had thought. The girl at the window...
Lieutenant Duvalier, the only occupants of this castle are Stefan and myself. You are the first visitor since the turn of the century.
Of course, Baron.
Stefan will see you to your room.
Thank you. Hello down there! I'm coming down. Wait for me! All right, unlock this door. Do you hear me? Unlock this door, I'm gonna shoot through the door.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to Creature Features. Still watching The Terror with John Stanley, former host of the show. You know what I like about this film, John? It's so colourful.
Colorful.
No,
Yes.
it's one of the most colourful.
Well, it was filmed at Big Sur. And
Is Big Sur colourful? I've never been.
Oh, go there. It's beautiful.
Go.
Carmel,
But everything in the film, it's like
Monterey.
they said, turn up the colour. We want more colour.
More
So
colour.
give me some interesting trivia about
Here's
this film.
a little color for you. Jack Nicholson fell in the water during the filming of this and almost drowned.
Like the actual Jack Nicholson actor, not the character.
No, he was doing it himself.
And he almost drowned. You know, we would have not had One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest had that occurred.
Ooh, he won the Academy Award for that one.
Right.
Yes, one of 3 films.
Insane. All right, I want to talk to you about Creature Features.
Yes.
You know, I've been doing this for, almost 4 years now.
4 years?
4 complete years.
2016 is when you started.
Right.
So 17, 18, yeah.
No, in October.
Almost 4 years full.
It'll be 4 years.
Yes.
So, what was your favorite thing when you did your show, Creature Features, the previous incarnation? Favorite guest?
Absolutely, it would be Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, I love him. Did he actually have pointed ears? No.
And a pointed tongue.
Every photo I see
His
of him.
tongue was pointed when
Every photo I see of him, he's got pointed ears.
Well, Leonard Nimoy saw a lady outside the Channel 2 waiting
Right.
to get in because the fans would gather and try to get into the studio
Right.
to meet the stars.
Right.
And this woman sat in the front row of the play he was doing. He was doing a one-man play.
She was a stalker.
Well, that's how he looked at it. Yes,
a
absolutely.
groupie, or a groupie.
That's it.
Right.
So he said, I'm not going to do your show unless that lady, you get rid of that lady. So we did. I had to tell the people outside,
no.
you can't come in today. We can't do that.
Right.
So, although I did sneak a couple of other fans in once the lady left.
My goodness.
And Leonard stayed and did the show.
Now, I saw that interview. It was a wonderful
show.
interview.
Yes.
What was he promoting at that time?
He was in a one-man play in San Francisco about the brother of Vincent van Gogh.
Oh.
Yes.
He has a
Very
fascination with
successful
ears, does he not?
Ooh.
mean,
Van Gogh,
one
he
ear-
cut off his
I
ears,
know.
remember?
One ear, pointed
Yeah.
ear. What different?
How
Yeah,
ironic.
Leonard Nimoy was into
Leonard
this.
Nimoy.
Right.
Yeah.
What a
Absolutely.
strange chap. Strange
Well,
chap.
other guests were Ray Bradbury,
I saw that interview as well.
Robert Bloch.
I did not see that interview.
Ah.
Christopher Lee. You did
Christopher
Lee.
Yes. Christopher Lee walked into the studio late, and he stood there and watched my opening, and he turned to my wife, who acted as my producer, and he said, I don't think this is the kind of program I want to be involved in. So he turned around and he headed for the door. Well, over the door was a TV monitor in which you saw the picture of what was being recorded.
Right.
And I had just introduced an interview with Ray Bradbury that had been filmed a couple of weeks earlier.
Right.
So he stopped and he watched the interview. It was about a 5-minute interview. And the lights came up. I had finished the segment, and he turned to my wife and said, well, if it's good enough for Ray Bradbury, it's good enough for me. He stayed. Otherwise, I would have lost my guest, and I wouldn't have had anybody to help me complete the episodes I had to film that morning.
We have a similar problem, but they never come. It's just like they say on the phone, oh, this does not sound like the type of program we should be on. Goodbye. And sometimes they don't even say goodbye. But speaking of goodbye, we got to get back to this film, The Terror, and then
Yes.
when we come back, you're going to tell us another interesting story from Creature Features, right?
Absolutely.
All right, off we go. Back to The Terror. You guys stay here.
I kept to the shadows, sir. He did not see me. He's a strange one, though. He showed no fear.
Well, he must leave at once.
You think perhaps he's not merely a traveler?
Why do you say that?
He might have heard things in the village.
Oh, nonsense. He's a soldier. He doesn't listen to old wives' tales. The important thing is that he leave with all due speed.
I shall see to it, sir.
But of his own accord. We must show him the respect his position and rank demand. Outwardly.
I understand, sir. So, must you intrude on the dead as well as the living?
If I intrude, Stefan, I shall leave it to my host to so inform me.
Why have you come to Castle Von Lepp? What do you want here?
You seem to have things strangely confused in your mind. You're the servant, not I. I'll ask the questions. This was once a place of worship. Why have the holy objects been removed?
The Baron ordered it. When his wife, the Baroness Ilsa, passed away.
Then this became her tomb?
No, just the entrance to it. The Von Lepp family crypt lies below, beneath the cemetery. She rests there with 4 centuries of Von Lepps. That's been sealed for 20 years.
Nonsense. It must have been open last night. The girl must have passed through here.
As the Baron told you, sir, there is no girl.
No girl. Well, we shall see. Come with me to the stable, Stefan. I wish to attend to my horse.
Wait, Lieutenant. That's what I came to tell you. Your horse is gone. Apparently it bolted during the night.
Impossible. You're lying. Why?
No, sir, I'm not lying.
Hear me well, Stefan. I'm sick of all of these lies. First the old woman, then the Baron, and now you.
The old woman, you mean?
Never mind. What about my horse?
I shall get you another one from the village at once, sir. Believe me, Lieutenant, I have no desire to interfere with your departure from this castle.
You seem very anxious to be rid of me. Is it because you're afraid I might find out about Eric?
Eric?
So there is an Eric. That at least was not a lie.
Lieutenant, please, don't involve yourself in these dead matters. There is nothing here but an old man and his decaying memories. I beg of you, leave him in peace.
Will you join me, Lieutenant?
No, thank you, Baron. I've just come from the stables. My horse is gone.
Your horse is gone?
Yes, I believe it was stolen, Baron.
Oh, impossible, Dick. The stable door perhaps was left open and the animal bolted. Not an unusual thing.
In itself, no. But there are certain other mysteries I would like to have explained, Baron, and I mean to have them explained.
How dare you take that tone with me?
I don't mean to be abrupt, but I will have answers.
Well?
Now, why did you remove the portrait of the Baroness from the wall?
I sent it away for renovation. The dampness of these walls puts a mold on the pigment.
You evade very cleverly, Baron. Can you also explain the violin music and the girl in the chapel last night?
You saw her again?
So you admit there's a girl?
Ilsa.
Ilsa, is that her name? Answer me, Baron.
Please, please, leave me in peace,
If
can't
I
you?
leave you now, Baron, I will come back with a company of my men and I will tear this place down around your ears until I find her. Is that clear?
Very clear.
All right, now what happened to the Baroness? Was her death violent?
Yes, her death was violent.
How did she die?
You spare me nothing. 20 years ago, I was not the man you're looking at now. This land, this estate prospered. My people lived well and were happy. My wife had died some years before, and I was lonely. And One day in the village, I saw Ilsa, a peasant girl who'd come to live there with her mother. Oh, I could have taken her. As nobles have taken the daughters of peasants since the beginning of time, but I loved her. And she became the Baroness von Lepp. Almost immediately afterwards, I was called away for military service, a rebellion in the Polish province. I was gone for nearly a year. When the fighting was over, I hurried home to my bride. No one knew of my coming, and I surprised her in her room. She was not alone. She laughed at me, said her bed was not for me to find another. And with my own hands, I killed her.
And her lover?
Stefan took care of him. Later, I gave out a story that she had died of some malaise. No one ever knew of her betrayal of me, or how, in fact, she did die.
Except for Stefan.
For 20 years, I've not set foot beyond the walls of this castle. I've lived here alone, but the memory of the dreadful thing I did that night, that is my penance.
And now you believe what? That the ghost of Ilsa has come back to relieve you of your penance? Is that it?
Yes.
How long has the spirit been coming to the castle?
It all began 2 years ago. At first I was terrified, but now I'm eager for our every meeting.
One more question, Baron. Has anyone else except yourself seen the spirit? Stefan, for instance.
You think I'm mad, don't you?
Right now, Baron, I'm not sure just what I think.
But don't forget, you saw her too. Perhaps we're both mad.
This is Nancy from Gilroy. I'm very excited. It's Creature Features Night. I love that show. I love Vincent and his sidekicks, which are awesome too. The movies are funky, but they're kind of fun to watch. And just wanted to let you know I'm a huge fan. All right, have a good evening, all of you. Bye.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned.
You know what I like about this film, John Stanley?
What's that?
Is this was also directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, he worked for a period of 10 days, and they only got a few minutes of footage that were actually used.
10 days of work and only
And a
10
few
minutes
minutes,
of footage.
yeah.
You know, that sounds like the way we work here. Yeah. It seems like we're taping all day long, and then I watch the show on Saturday night, and what do we have? Not even 2 hours of programming. It's
Terrifying.
All right, so you tell me you were friends with Sarah Karloff.
Oh, yes, yes. In 2006,
the daughter of Boris.
Boris Karloff had only one child his entire life, and it was Sarah Karloff. And Karloff divorced the mother when she was 7 years old, and she grew up in San Francisco in a home just on the edge of the Presidio of San Francisco.
That's a nice neighborhood.
Now, in 2006, she came to the Balboa Theater in San Francisco, where they had a special night. They showed 2 old Karloff films from the 30s. And Sarah and her husband, Sharpie, were there together.
Sharpie.
His name was Sharpton, so they called him Sharpie.
Oh, they should have called him Sharpay.
Sharpay.
That would have been nice. So she put on a show?
Yes, she was there for that show. and we posed a number of pictures together, which were in my book.
Right.
And then a few months later, she and her husband returned. They stayed with us overnight at home to go to the WonderCon in San Francisco.
And she was a guest as well.
And she was one of those at the table Bob Wilkins and I had.
Oh, wonderful.
And part of a panel that we did later on.
You know, I find the daughters and sons of some of these famous people are so wonderful. We had, who was it, Vincent Price's daughter, what was her name? Victoria Price. Victoria. And she was so knowledgeable and kind and had so many stories to tell and enthusiastic. And I think if we had the actual Vincent Price, he would have been like, blah, 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 blah. You know. Whereas, you know, his best representative was his own daughter. So I can understand why Sarah Karloff might be a good ambassador for Boris Karloff.
Absolutely.
We should have her on the show.
She also told me if my father were alive today, he would not like these movies that are coming out now, the blood and gore movies of the
I don't like them. You don't like them. They're silly.
He would not like any of that kind of thing.
No. Well, you know, we couldn't show them if we wanted to because we simply can't afford new films. But I think if we did show them, we would get complaints. People would write strongly worded letters to us saying, no more of the new gore. And they say it exactly like that. All right, John, let's get back to this film. And when we come back, we're going to hear some more interesting details of your life and legend with Creature Features.
All right, let's go.
All right, off we go. We'll see you soon.
Ilsa. The name sounds strange to me here by the sea.
It is your name. Don't you remember?
My name is Helene. The old woman told me.
She lies.
She summoned me from the sea.
You must go back. Your soul is troubled, Ilsa.
Go back? To Eric?
To the sea.
Only when the sea enters the crypt. We shall rest there together, he and I, beneath the sea.
It is an evil thing. You must not do it, Ilsa.
I must obey the old woman.
The Frenchman, he can help you, Ilsa.
Andre? The old one calls. She warns you, Gustav. Do not interfere. She's been patient with you long enough, but no more.
Tetragrammaton, tetragrammaton. Metroton usagla. Metheos sabayoth. O powers of darkness, let the spirit of Ilsa sink deeper, deeper into this mortal form. Helene, be as though you never were. Spirit of Ilsa, see through these eyes, speak through these lips. Do my bidding, for only then shall you find release from your torment. You are becoming stronger now, quite strong. Soon you shall have the strength to carry out my vengeance. Vengeance. And the dark powers will set you free, for I have promised them a richer prize.
Good afternoon.
Who are you?
An appropriate question, but I'm afraid I'm the one who should be doing the asking. I'm invited in, of course.
What do you want of me?
You realize that this is the property of the Baron Victor von Lepp? And that is forbidden for any of the villagers to set foot here, much less make it their home? How long have you been living here?
Only 2 months.
Perhaps I should tell you. You see, I've just come from Kleinschmidt, where you are not totally unknown. You've lived here slightly more than 2 years. Your name is Katerina, and you originally come from Colburn, where you were quite unpopular because of, certain activities. They call you Katerina the heretic, the witch.
They were fools.
Why do you live here? What do you want?
I haven't any money. This was the only place that wasn't burned to the ground, so I brought my things in here.
Where did you find the girl?
Is no girl.
I saw her. She was sitting in this chair.
There is no girl.
I know what she is. Old woman, I know what she is. Listen to me, and listen to me very carefully. I don't know what you want, nor do I fully understand your black abilities. But if the two of you have not returned to Colburn within one night, I shall come back here and kill you with my own hands, and burn this place to the ground once and for all.
And you know who once lived here all those years ago?
You know who lived here?
Eric.
Has the Frenchman gone?
No.
Why not?
He now refuses to leave. I don't think he will leave of his own accord.
He must. I gave you definite orders.
Baron, no one knows this officer is here. If he should never arrive in Copeland.
Are you suggesting that...
It's the only way.
That I will never countenance. God knows I have enough upon my conscience without the senseless murder of a young man who never harmed me.
How do you know what harm he plans? You want him wandering around the castle? Do you want him down in the crypt?
Enough. The crypt is no concern of yours.
Andre. Andre, help me. Andre. Come to me. Come to me, Andre. I need you.
Where are you?
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I'm sorry, Baron. I thought I heard voices.
Does that give you the right to burst into my room unannounced?
I beg your pardon, Baron.
Stefan has gone to the village to get you another horse. It will save us both embarrassment if he will leave the moment he returns.
There can be no doubt of it, sir.
Ilsa?
Portions of this program are sponsored by DoorTech, distributor of quality commercial doors nationwide.
You play better than Vince.
Wait! Wait!
Gustav.
She has seen you. She loves you. You must help her. Tonight, her soul cries out for release. Go back.
I've waited for you so long.
I've been searching for you, to help you, but you wander in strange places at strange hours.
You're really here.
Of course I'm here. And I'll never leave you again.
Never.
Wait here. It's all right.
Elsa, my love, you are not alone. I am here with you now. Soon I will join you in eternal sleep. Stefan will flood the crypt and seal us here together with our love. Elsa. 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 Why do you not talk to me?
I am here, Victor. I've been waiting for you.
My love. My love.
You know what you must
No.
do.
Anything I will do that I dare not. Do not ask me, I beg of you.
You must, or we can never be together.
No, no, I cannot, I dare not.
Look at me, Victor.
Elsa, why do you torment me so?
You must do it, Victor. Only then can we be together. Only then, Victor.
I cannot. I dare not. My soul will be damned to eternal perdition.
Let me see who you really are.
No!
Don't go back! You must not! No! No! Let me go! What kind of a woman are you? Where are you? Who are you? Helene!
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Stay tuned. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to Creature Features. It's one of those fun nights. You know why? Because we got John Stanley with us. And whenever we have John Stanley, we have fun, right?
I hope so.
You, I, Tangela, Livingston. Maybe not Livingston, but the rest of us have fun. And we're watching a great movie, The Terror. Now, you were telling me during the break that shooting with Boris Karloff was a bit unusual.
Well, he only worked on the film for 4 days.
4 days?
Yes, everything was done in a swift pattern, if you could call it a pattern.
But that was typical with a Corman film, right?
Oh, yes. Corman would often make a film in a week,
right.
10 days, and it's done. He would have Boris Karloff going up and down the stairway, and they never marked it with slate or anything. He just said, walk up the staircase, then come down over there.
Wow.
And later they figured out where they were going to use each scene.
That was a bit too much work for an old man, right?
Well, Karloff, this was made in '63.
Right.
Karloff had 6 years of life left in him.
I bet he lost a year or two from going up and down those stairs.
And he made his last 6 movies in Mexico.
Right.
And in some cases, he was in a wheelchair.
That's terrible.
He was health was failing so quickly.
That's terrible. Well, speaking of acting in movies, I understand you worked with Chuck Norris as well.
Yes. He came to San Francisco, so I decided to meet him in a Cooksul 1 martial arts training center on Van Ness Avenue. And he and his brother were there. And instead of just sitting down and doing an interview, which one normally did, instead we confronted each other out on the mat. And I had a microphone, and I would go up and ask him a question or two, and he'd turn around and throw people
Nobody
onto
does
the
that
carpet.
to Chuck Norris. I mean, no, everything's frightened of Chuck Norris, and you were not.
Well, Chuck Norris, it was fun. At the last scene, of course, he grabs me and throws me down on the carpet. I do the final scene like I'm half conscious with my microphone down there.
You were manhandled by Chuck Norris. You know, I think that's more impressive than your Leonard Nimoy interview.
It happened a second time. He made a film just outside of San Francisco and up in the hills. And so we went there with the camera team, and we actually were able to create a whole story where I was trying to sneak onto the set
This
to
is
interview.
one of your mini movies, right?
These were eventually called mini movies, yes.
Right.
Oh, there was also one set in the Wax Museum at Fisherman's Wharf.
Right.
And what happens is a statue of Jack the Ripper comes to life and begins chasing a beautiful woman down the passageway.
Now, these small films that you made.
Yes, these were all made outside the studio.
But
and
they were part of Creature Features, right?
they became part of Creature Features.
So you would
yes.
show them in lieu of like some other short of some kind,
Yes,
or a trailer or something.
Yeah.
This would be something you made.
Sometimes it would take the place of
I need
even
to
having
do
a
this.
guest on.
No, I need to do this.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
can
might try it.
understand why you did it, because you sit here and you're like, you got a guest and it's blah, 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 and it's you know, after 4 years or more, you know, it might get boring, so go out and make these small films.
You have a wonderful house here. You could design some short little vignettes involving your cast.
But no, it's to get out of the house, John.
Ah.
Right? That's what I write. So we do it down by the beach, you know, the cliffs of Bodega Bay. It'd be
Or you
nice.
might want to go to a movie theater where something's going to strange is going to
That's
happen
true.
there.
Well, they're quite strange because
Maybe
they're so
you're
empty
up on
right
the
now.
you're up on the stage, and then the curtains open up, and
All right.
a strange
We're
picture.
We're going to talk while the film's going, and you're going to produce my first mini movie.
Aha.
John Stanley, directed by
John Stanley.
Right. All right. I'm getting the signal. We're going to get back to the film. We'll be back soon. So you guys stay there because we're going back to the film right now.
Is there a doctor in the village?
His illness is not of the flesh. I've seen this before. In a day or two, his mind will return. We can only wait.
The Baron tells me you've been with him since the Polish campaign.
That is true.
Then you must have been in this castle for 20 years. You must know every section of the estate. He's regaining consciousness.
No. He often moans during these seizures.
You have keys. Fetch them. I'd like to see the chapel.
The chapel?
Yes, if you don't mind.
The hinges are rusted solid.
Do you have a crowbar?
Yes, come with me.
What is it?
That light there. That's the Baroness's bedroom in the tower. The room's been sealed ever since that night. Not even the Baron would enter.
Come with me. Where's the key?
Only the Baron has the key to this lock. Lieutenant, don't!
Baron should find out we've entered this room.
Did the Baroness have a child?
I don't know. I never thought she did.
You spare me nothing.
Baron, if you'll permit me, I think that I can explain.
Stefan.
Forgive me, Baron. I only meant
Stefan! Take this gun. Escort this gentleman from the castle. If he resists, kill him.
Yes, Baron.
Lieutenant.
My love. My love.
I am here, Victor.
I am weary, Ilsa. My soul cries out for relief.
There is but one way, Victor.
No. The holy covenants of God forbid it.
You will be forgiven.
Be sure.
Take your life as you took mine. Let your own hand destroy you and bring us together forever. Forever. No more torment, Victor. Forever. Forever.
I will, Elsa. I will.
I promise you, Lieutenant. If you return to Von Lepp Castle, I shall not hesitate to kill you.
Why did you lie to me about the girl? Call it off.
Doesn't matter now. You're too late. Tonight he damns himself. Yes, even now she taunts him to his own eternal doom.
You control the girl just as you control that bird. How? Mesmerism?
Mesmerism, you fool.
Why? Answer me, old woman, or I'll break your neck.
To avenge myself on the Baron von Lepp. She will drive him to God's one unpardonable sin. Suicide.
For what offense? What has the Baron done to you?
He killed my son, Eric.
Eric was your son?
Yes. And tonight the Baron pays for Eric's life with his own immortal soul.
She spoke of destroying the crypt.
Too late. Too late.
Baron, you mustn't go down.
We must get to him. He's locked himself in the crypt.
Eric is avenged.
Eric avenged?
She's used the girl as a puppet to drive the Baron to suicide.
But why?
She thinks it was the Baron that killed her son. She never knew it was you.
What do you mean? He killed my Eric.
Eric is her son?
You murderer!
No, wait! Don't you see now it was all a lie? The Baron did return that night to find Eric with the Baroness, and he did kill her. But there was a struggle, and in the fight, it was not Eric who died, but the Baron. I killed the Baron.
Then Eric is still alive?
He took the Baron's place, and for 20 years, no one has known. But he took the Baron's place in mind as well as body. In his mind, he is the Baron von Lepp.
The crypt. She's told him to flood the cellars. Now they'll both be killed. Eric!
Flood the cellars? How?
There's a tunnel that leads from the sea to the crypt.
Come with me.
He's locked it from the inside. Good.
You keep on here. I'll try and get in through the chapel. I may need you.
No, not the chapel. I may not enter the house of God. I have made my pact with another. No closer. No!
Hairstyling for the show was provided by Restoration Hair in Santa Rosa.
I am here, Elsa, my love. This time, forever.
Now, Victor. Now. I am waiting.
Hurry, Victor, hurry.
Now, Victor, bring the sea into the crypt to mantle us forever. We will be together again, Victor. Together with our love here beneath the sea. Come to me, my love. Draw the veil. Look at me. And see how eagerly I await your embrace.
part of me that loved you lies there, Victor, rotting in the coffin. Look at it. See what your evil love has done to me and die with that vision in your brain.
Why have you done this to me?
I am the spirit of Ilsa that your unholy sin gave over to the dark powers. But now, by giving your immortal soul to them, I will be free, Eric.
You're safe now. It's over. It's over. Do you understand? You're free now.
Free, Andre.
And that ends The Terror. You know that whole thing with the face melting?
Yeah, that was what the movie seemed to be leading up to for an hour and 19 minutes.
You know, it reminded me, she's always like, when she doesn't like a doll anymore, she melts it, and that's what it looks like. She just melts the dolls, and it looks like that. Yeah, I wish you'd melt the creepy baby. Yeah.
Sometimes she melts in front of your eyes.
Have you seen this hideous thing she carries around? It's obscene. Anyways, so John, what do you got going on next?
Well, I was telling you a little bit about my book.
Right. I like your books.
Well, there's so many stories. Interview with Ridley Scott about Alien, the making of Alien.
Right.
He came to San Francisco, and it was remarkable to first do the interview and then see the film shortly after. What a remarkable
classic. So you interviewed
classic.
Ridley Scott before you saw Alien?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he came to town about the time of the premiere.
Right.
Yes, yes.
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And you're talking about doing a remake or a re-release of Nightmare in Blood.
Well, we thought we might do a re-release with a better quality picture and a narration that explains the making of the film, which was very complex. It actually expanded over a 4-year period, 4 to 5 year period.
That's a wonderful
From the time
we've shown it recently.
We wrote the script until we finally got it released.
Right. That's wonderful.
It's a fascinating story.
He's a busy man. He should be retired, and he's doing all this stuff. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I got to try to keep busy.
You're our hero. Because I don't think I'll be as busy as this man when I'm his age. I can tell you that much right now. All right, so where do we learn more? What's your website?
StanleyBooks.net.
StanleyBooks.net.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. And they could get info on the new books, the old books, and everything?
Well, some books are out of print. Some things are going out of print now.
All right. These things happen.
My movie guide, I only have about 20 copies left.
Call today.
Yes.
Order now. And you'll receive an autographed version as well. All right, John, it's always wonderful having you here. We hope to have you again soon.
And I hope you leave town soon and you need a replacement.
That's right. I may not see you.
I will be available.
He'll be back, but maybe I will not be, which I think will make the audience a bit more happier. It'll certainly make her happier.
We'll have to work on that.
All right. Well, thanks again, John.
My pleasure, believe
All right.
me.
As far as you guys go, thanks for staying up late. You have a wonderful week. Go out and do something fun because we're going to be back next week, and it may not be fun when we come back, so get it out of the way. We'll see you next time. So, John, you know, the whole mini-movie thing, I'm quite intrigued. I would like to do this, and I was thinking during the last segment of the film, maybe we could do like something in a cornfield.
I've already done the cornfield, but Tangela would make a wonderful Malachi.
Are you still here?
Be gone.